Okay, so we have a Hustler here with a Kawasaki engine that's in here for this 50-hour service or tune-up, whatever you prefer to call it. So the first thing we're going to do is drain the oil. Now, a lot of these Kawasaki's come with a drain tube. This one does not. So we had to devise one and put it in there. Let's see if we can show you. So right here is the drain tube I put on. And then we got to loosen this nut. You may not be able to see what I'm doing. It's a 10 millimeter. Okay, so there's the hose filled up with oil. You got to screw that out quite a bit actually to get that to release. Now I've heated up the oil. I've heated up the engine, I should say. That does two things. That stirs up all that gunk at the bottom of the sump. It also makes it easier for the oil to drain out. Okay, in order to reach the oil filter, well, a lot of times I got to remove the dipstick tube, but in this case it doesn't look like I'm going to have to. Okay, so I got some clean oil on my finger and put it around the gasket here. A lot of people seem to think that that's to help it seal. It's actually not. It's to help when you put it on that the gasket doesn't turn on you. It helps it slide onto the wall of the crankcase. Okay, now we're going to remove the spark plugs and we're going to replace them, but not right away because we want to adjust the valves first, and it's easier to adjust the valves with the spark plugs out. I'll do one on the other side also, but I won't do it on camera. Okay, so now we're going to remove the valve cover, the overhead valve cover. Oh, this one's got a gasket on it. We don't want to rip that. See if we can get it off without ripping it. That's good. Won't have to clean the cover. Nope, it ripped. Now we're going to turn the engine over until one of these is all the way up and the other one is all the way down, which it looks like it already is. Okay, so now we're going to see if a 4/1000 will go in. It does. See if a 6/1000 will go in. It does. So we want to make sure the 6 does not. Okay, so we're going to loosen the top nut. And then we'll tighten the bottom one. The top nut is the locking nut. We'll put our 4/1000 feeler gauge back in there and then we'll tighten it up. Okay, so 4 goes in. And 6 does not. Now, we'll flip it around. We'll bring this one, the bottom one, up and the top one down. We'll check it again, 4 to 6. Four goes in, but 6 does not, so we don't need to adjust that one. Okay, so I'll check the other side off camera. Okay, since it was just a gasket, the sealing surface cleaned up pretty easy, so we'll just clean up the rest of it with some carburetor cleaner. Okay, we'll go ahead and just put some, we'll put a gasket on. Okay, so we'll put in a new spark plug. We'll gap it from 30 to 35. So 30 goes in, 35 does not. Thread it in by hand all the way down. That way you don't risk stripping the engine block. And then when you have it tightened all the way down, you look at it, make sure it's seated. You look in there, see if it's seated. And then you take your socket and tighten it. And remember, I'm doing everything twice. I got to do it on the other side. I'm just doing it off camera. Okay, so somehow I misstepped on my button on the camera. So I've changed the fuel filter. Just remove this hose clamp. You just squeeze it together, push it down with a pair of pliers. Same with the top. pop the hose off, you put a new one in. This is directional, so you want the fuel to run in the direction of the arrow. If there's no arrow, you want to be able to see the dirt accumulate. Either way it'll work. It's just this way you can see where the dirt coming in. Okay, so I've taken the tube out a while ago because it was done draining. And now all I'm going to do is tighten up that locking nut so the oil doesn't come out when we fill it back up. Okay, so now we're going to fill the oil. Okay, so it's full now, but I'm going to start it up so we can get it to fill the oil filter. Okay, so it's full. Okay, so I'm going to check the tire pressure. Now I'm not going to do the front tires because they're flat. I'm going to have to put tubes in the front tires. So I'll air these up when I air up the front tires. Okay, so I'm going to remove the lawnmower blades. But something we got to remember on Cub Cadet, well, this isn't Cub Cadet, this is Hustler. Anyway, Cub Cadet, they have timed blades, meaning one blade has to go north and south, and the other blade has to go east and west. And that looks like is what's going on here. So I'm going to be sure that when I put them back on, that one's going north and south and one's going east and west. Okay, so when you put your blade back on, you want the blade to be on the downside and the fin, or the fan, to be on the upside. And remember, we're going to do this north and south. Okay, so that's all there is to servicing a lawnmower in the range. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was working on something else. So I hope this video helps you work on your equipment under the shade tree. Thanks for watching.